So thank you for your presence here in Institut Français de Berlin. I'd like to present a little bit what we are going to do now. It's a workshop in the framework of an Erasmus Plus project initiated by Governor President by France Fair. And it's the last workshop. The first one was in France for 1 year, the second one in Italy, the third one in Portugal, and the last one here in Berlin. All the workshops we did are exploring the question of the common, what is common, how to build common. For Berlin, we choose to explore the method of the performance trial and citizen trial. Our method is inspired from the Russell Tribunal from 1967. It was the first citizen tribunal who decided to judge the USA for their involvement in the Vietnam War. We decided to explore that method with a German case, the France case. The name had changed. This man has already been judged in 1963. But he has been judged in a singular framework that problematic was. He acted legally in his country, and his act was considered as illegal in another country. He has not been judged in his country, but in another one. So the question is, why to do another trial? The framework has changed, and we want to see if the changing of the framework changed the perspective of justice. There were, at the time, a lot of discussion about the legality or the legality of the trial that concluded that the first trial, was not legally carried out. It was for us also the means to explore the history of Germany, and it asked us a philosophical question: what is the individual responsibility when we act by order? The new framework is an European one. To prepare this new experimental trial, we were together people from France, from Portugal, from Italy, from Greece, and Germany. So let's try together to judge as Europeans.
Donc, en tant que président du jury,
as member of the jury president,
nous allons donc étudier le cas de France K.
we're going to study the case of France K.
Commencez par vous exposer les faits.
I'm going to start by expose the facts.
Le 5 juin 1962,
The 5th of June 1962,
à la frontière, la ligne de démarcation, non loin de Duderstadt,
at the border or demarcation line, not far from Dunderstadt,
Günther A., un jeune travailleur de 19 ans de Magdebourg,
Gunther A., young worker of 19 years old from Magdeburg,
a fait une tentative d'évasion et est tombé sur une double patrouille.
did an attempt of escape, but met a double patrol.
Franz K., sous-officier de l'armée nationale populaire, âgé de 21 ans,
Franz K., under officer of the patrol leaders
et son chef de patrouille
and his chief of patrol,
sont alertés par des tirs.
are alerted by warning shots.
Günther A. est sur le point d'atteindre la lisière du bois.
Gunther A. was about to reach the edge of the wood,
Il ne lui reste que quelques mètres à parcourir pour parvenir à s'enfuir.
and he had only a few meters to go before he was able to escape.
Franz K. reçoit 3 fois l'ordre de tirer par son supérieur avant de tirer.
Franz K. received 3 times the order of shooting before to actually shoot.
Alors, à une distance de 120 mètres, Selon ses dires, il aurait visé l'épaule, mais atteint l'arrière de la tête.
At a distance of 150 meters, he would have, according to what he said, aimed at the shoulder, but unfortunately hit the back of the head.
Günther A. s'effondre et est conduit à l'hôpital de Bürgerprozesse.
Günther A. collapsed and was taken to the hospital in Güntherstadt.
Le 13 juillet, après son transfert à l'hôpital à Magdebourg, il décède.
He died on the 13th of July, one day after being transferred to the Magdeburg hospital.
An act was committed in the GDR which led to the death of an individual. This act was part of a patriarchal, legal and political system. This act was legally judged in West Germany, a territory subject to a different legal and political framework to that of the territory where the act was committed. Today, we are withdrawing the case into a third legal framework, our own. We want to keep this perspective in mind throughout all the trial. Insofar as we are not specialized in the legal framework, either of today or of that time, we are obliged to ask ourselves the question of this case without strict reference to a jurisdiction. Nor we are going to invent a new jurisdiction. We are not going to decide on a particular legal framework, but it will be our conscience that will direct your reflection. Conscious too of our different cultures and different histories. We would like to make it clear that during this trial, we are talking on our road from our existence as diverse citizens, and that at the end of this trial, we will all be jurors, autonomous from the roads we have taken during this proceeding, public included.
In order for the trial to happen well, we're going to try to follow as much as possible the classical rules of classical trial. Those rules are first that the speaking of each parties and witnesses is going to be distributed by the jury president, represented by the three of us. That each party, the prosecution and the defense, are able to request for speaking, and the acceptance or the rejection of this request depends on the president of the jury. Unauthorized speaking may lead to the suspension of the trial or to an actual fine. The order of speaking will be exposed, and you will be able to follow it on the board here. Objection can be made by each party at any moment and will be accepted or refused by the president of the jury. Very briefly, we're going to expose now the way the trial is going to happen. We precise beforehand that each parties have exactly the same time of speaking. This time is organized in a non-symmetrical way, but at the end, they both have the same time. We're going to hear first the prosecution and its own analysis of the case, and then the defense and their own analysis of the case. After that, we will hear a first witness, which is going to be a ballistic expert, who's going to give us details, technical details about the situation of the shooting. He will be able to be questioned after by the prosecution or the defense if they judge it necessary. Similar process will happen with one witness, guard of the border from where the act happened, who will be able to be questioned by both parties after. Then the prosecutor will have the possibility to call their first witness, which is going to be for us the mother of the victim, and will be then able to comment in the same way that the defense will be able to ask questions. Reverse process afterwards, the defense will be able to call their own witness, which was going to be the sister of the accused, and will be able to comment the testimony, and then the prosecutor will be able to ask questions. We'll then finish by a closing speech from the prosecution and a closing speech from the defense. After that, the president of the jury will do a general summary and propose something different than a condemnation, but rather a question that all of us, as jury, public included, will be invited to answer and then to share. If there is no specific question, we can start the hearing. So the word is to the prosecutor.
Dear President and jury, dear members of the defense, dear witness, the audience, we are here today to question the case of France K. that committed a murder some years ago. At first, we would like to present a bit him and make a kind of portrait. This man came from west to east as a volunteer. That was very special at this time. And also as a volunteer, he entered the army and acquired very good skills as a shooter. He really learned how to use an AK-47, and became a good soldier. Then, from soldier, he became a border guard. Then, as a border guard, he was really trained and he knew the rule that possibly he could be in front of a fugitive and being a shooter with the risk to kill a man.
This person would like to.
It wasn't a possibility to kill a man, but to shoot a man. Mm-hmm.
We would like to object the objection, Your Honor, by saying that we are judging a man who twice voluntarily acted along his free will. First, by entering the east, coming from the west, and then enrolling in the army. So we definitely have a person of maturity who decided to be in such a position that he might kill a man by doing his duty. He knew that, he accepted that.
He was 21 at this time, so not a kid anymore, and he has to be compared to the victim, a 90-year-old boy. His name is Günther A. And this boy was dreaming about reconciling, reconnecting East and West. His intention was to build a bridge between the two parts of Germany and to prepare a future world of harmony.
At least that's what he said. We have full evidence that this was his intention by going from east to western part of Germany. It was to become a musician. He thought he had a better chance to have a career where his aim as a musician was to bring peace to the world, and especially to his beloved country, Germany. We have evidence of this because we found in the suitcase, the guitar suitcase, he was a guitar hero. We found some lyrics of a song he had written at the time, so we're in 63, and maybe these are the last words of this young boy, 19.
We would like to just read 3 lines of this song, just to make everyone aware. 3 lines. It was, "We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving."
Are you done?
We're done.
So now the word is at the defense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so France, K, was acting with the law of his country at that time. He was trying to help his country and knew that he didn't go there to kill, but to defend the border. And at the specific time, if he didn't pull the trigger, he would go to prison for 8 years. He didn't shoot at first when the general told him to do it. He didn't even shoot at the second time, but the third time he shooted him. So we can understand that he was under a lot of pressure. He tried to
Objection, Your Honor?
Objection accepted.
I think we can consider that he had 3 occasions not to shoot, and he decided after the third time, so a lot of reflection, that he would do so. And that.
The defense may continue.
We have to consider the pressure, of course. He tried to stop the person by shooting him at his shoulder because of the lack of equipment. He accidentally hit him in the head. The gun that he was using, it didn't have any optics very good, especially in the distance between the shoulder and the head.
Yes, and in the trial in 1963, West Germany used this young man, Franz, to judge an ideology that they didn't like. So it wasn't really about Franz K, but it was about the GDR as a whole. It was a political trial.
Is the defense done?
For now, yes.
Okay. So we call the bar, the ballistic expert, please.
About the weapon, the shooting itself, I would like to clarify certain things. The weapon used was an AK-47 with no optics. This weapon is a pretty good weapon and has all the capabilities to shoot correctly on someone at a distance of 120 meters. But without any optics, it is very difficult to aim precisely between the head and the shoulder. He was trained, he knew this weapon and could have made perfect shots. He didn't, he did the head, but there is also parameters that the shooter cannot control, like the whistle of the weapon, and the whistle of the weapon can change the direction of the bullet.
Are you done?
We have a question.
Yeah.
If you, for example, if you consider that the objective, the target, is this black box, and you are shooting from that distance, okay? Is it an easy shot?
Here to
With an AK-45?
to hit this box?
Yeah,
From here?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So how many meters do you think it's from here to this black box?
6.
6 meters. Okay. So here, in that case, it's 120 meters distance.
Yes.
Okay. Is it still an easy shot?
No.
Okay. So it's pretty easy to miss a shot.
It's pretty
Easy to miss because it's very far.
to miss the shoulder, but the whole human body, it can hit him if he's a good shooter.
Okay. Would you see this little difference if I do this test? Is it a difference? Can I miss my target if I just slightly change my direction? This 120 meters.
Yes.
Okay. Would you see it if I was a little changing my direction? If I want to miss my target, is it easy to pretend that I try to
Yes.
shoot it and slightly move? Is it easy? Okay. That's all.
Last question.
Okay.
Can you say he knew for sure that he would miss if he had really the intention to miss? Can you say That he was sure of what he was doing.
I don't understand.
Did he know for sure he would miss if it was his intention? Did he know he would miss?
It's a tricky question.
What would you miss?
His target.
Or the target?
Target. Did he know he would miss if he wanted to miss?
If he wanted to miss, he could have missed.
Okay, he didn't miss. You agree with that, of course. So he decided to kill.
It's you're allowed to ask questions to the ballistic expert only on technical. You don't have his opinion. But now the word of the defense.
Perhaps an advertisement for that.
Okay, so was it possible even with a perfect shot to control if the bullet hits the shoulder or the head?
No.
Thank you.
Are both parties done with the interrogation?
Okay.
So, as the jury president, we have 2 questions to the guards. What was the orders that you received for defending the border?
So the first thing you have to know is that every day we heard that everything from the West and anyone who crossed the border were considered like an enemy. And the order was the border offenders must be shot when all other possibility of arrest have been exhausted. Service vehicle, aerial targets, and the children have not to be targets. The problem is at this distance and in the dark, you can't see if it's a teenager or an adult.
And what would happen when you shoot?
If you shoot aside, they prove you do it in purpose. They know you're shooting with it, so they know. And you spend 8 years in jail. So we had no choice.
Does the 2 parties want to ask some questions to the guard?
Question?
Yes, please, Your Honor. Do I understand you well? You said that he shoots the target, and at that time, and considering the poor light at the moment he shot, he couldn't see if he was targeting a 10-year-old boy or a 50-year-old grown man.
10 year, oh no, not a child, you see.
12 years?
A child of an adult, but a teenager,
A 12-year, he would have recognized it?
depend of the.
We don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Thank you.
Question from the defense.
Yes, we also have a question. So, what you're saying is it is not your job to kill, but it is your job to stop people from crossing the border, right? So, murder is something else. Murder is planned killing. You make a plan in advance that you definitely want to kill something. That is what we consider murder. So, as a border guard, as a last resort, it is possible to use your weapon, but the main purpose of the border guard is not to kill people, but to stop them from passing the border. So in this case also, we see that Franz K., he aimed at the shoulder. It was not his aim to kill this young man.
Which it's to stop them to be arrested, but not to kill them.
Is the defense done? So now we'll call the first witness of the prosecution, which is the mother of the victim.
So we received the witness as the letter, as it's too difficult for her to come back to Germany, where she lost her son. So I will read her testimony. My name is Helga, and I'm Winter's mother. I'm heartbroken. The premature and unjust death of my dear son Günther will no longer be overcome. After my husband's death, my 3 children and I developed an escape plan. as we had the dream of having a better life, of being free and fleeing an ideological war that was not ours. My eldest son, Hans, was the first to cross the wall. He was preparing the way for us. Günther will be the second over the wall. Günther was a dreamy young man, an artist. He was only 19 years old and possessed such determination and strength that he made us believe that we were worthy of this new life. We had to be stronger than fear. Giving up was not an option. Günther moved forward, followed the plan, but unfortunately, another young man, possibly a dreamer as well, killed him. Is he to blame? Is he the only one to blame? Can the law justify this heinous crime? How was it possible for us to get to this point where we lost hope? I want justice to be done, but above all, I ask that the border disappears. Let us live freely, let us dream. I want more than justice, I want change. I lost my son, but I didn't lose hope. Helga.
The prosecution may react if they wish to.
I think we see very clearly here that we have a loving mother, and it has been an immense loss for her, and she wants reparation, she wants justice to be made, she wants a change, and the change means she wants this crime to be punished.
Is the prosecution done? So the defense may comment if they wish.
Yes. So the young man had a dream for a better life. Günther knew about the risk of passing the border, was a story for every family that loses a loved one. Who is Günther would have tried to contribute to a better life for everyone in the GDR, together with other young people. It wasn't France saying to kill Günther, but to stop him from passing the border.
Is the defense done?
Yes.
Can I say something or not?
Yes, we can.
Possible. Yes. Because I live the same situation, and of course I feel guilty after. And I don't see why the little one should be punished. I just order to obey to the order. We don't have a choice.
The prosecution may react.
Fortunately, we have something that is called the law to say what can be done and what cannot be done. A crime, killing and shooting, and yes, killing a man is something that we cannot accept, that no society, be it in the West or in the East, can accept.
Does the defense want to react to the statement of the guard of the prosecution?
So let's continue with the last witness of the sister. So she couldn't be present. So as the sister can't be present on our trial, so we will present an archive video made by an investigator back then. So let's see it.
Recorded in Frankfurt, West Germany, 16th of September 1963. I'm Hans P., detective at Frankfurt Police Department with the Frankie file 2 of April 1963. Can you say your name and who you are?
My name is Franziska K. and I'm the only sister of Franz K. Me and my family, we live in Frankfurt.
How could you describe your brother?
Oh, well, calm and interesting by everything. The others, a simple person, a funny and happy boy.
Do you remember circumstances when your brother was sensitive to the pain of others?
Oh, the usual. At the school, he was always one of the first to help when someone gets hurt. He was sensitive to the others and animals also. He's a very sensible boy.
Do you consider your brother as a good man before the shooting?
He has been always a very kind, smart young boy.
Why do you say that?
Because he got a really nice education. We believe in goodness, in freedom. We were happy despite the worst situation. It's not easy, as you know.
And after the shooting, why?
He was a little bit more quiet, more moments in silence. Maybe, I don't know, war it's a full tension, as you know.
I know. And do you know why your brother decided to move east?
My brother, I don't know why, but he decided to live in his part, to embrace the communist ideal. I felt it strange, but it was his dream to follow this ideal.
Are you a communist?
No,
And your family, are they communists?
no.
And your brother?
Well, I don't know. He went east.
And when your brother came back, did he said something?
No, absolutely. He didn't spoke to me about his questions, but I suspected there was something. In fact, he didn't come to see us in all the period that he stayed in East. Oh, so I mean that he didn't come to see us often.
Did he talk something about the shooting?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, maybe to protect me, to protect my parents. He's a nice guy. He's my brother.
But now you know he killed a man. What do you think about it?
Yes, I know that my brother are killing these guys and this isn't correct, but he is my brother. And
You said it several times.
I was feeling proud, you know. Even if I don't agree, I was feeling proud because he was following his ideals. He said that he has stopped believing on this ideal.
Did he told you why?
Just say that he stopped believing on it. He said he saw so many things, but he didn't want it to develop the idea. He said that even he get awarded, he was disappointed. Stop him believe it.
And he did?
He went here to our place, his family's place.
So he came back again to the West.
I guess he decided to come back home. Our family is a nest, so he decided to come here. He was confused, of course. It's wrong to kill a person.
And why did he kill the person if it's wrong? Did he said something about it?
I don't know. He know it's not correct to do it, but he get a direct order, a military direct order. He is my brother.
I know already, but he killed a man.
Yes, it's war. We are not communists.
But you think this case it's about a single person, in this case your brother, or it's a political one?
I don't know. I'm not a politician. I'm only his sister. And I love him.
So that's the retranscription of the archive we have. As the archive is part of witness from the defense, if the defense wants to comment, they are welcome. Does the prosecution want to react?
No. At least for us, it is clear that he knew what he was doing. He killed a man. He regretted it, but that's what he did. Thank you.
So,
time for the conclusion.
So the words are first to the prosecution according to the balance of time and the request of each party. The prosecution has 3 minutes to conclude, and the defense will then have 5 minutes to conclude.
Okay, so now as a conclusion concerning France case, we admit that if we consider German Democratic Republic's law, he's innocent because he's killing on order. We also admit that regarding Federal Republic of Germany law, he's guilty because he shot a German fellow citizen. But because we consider the case from today's point of view and today's awareness, we would like to say that in that precise case, France didn't use his fundamental right to disobey or even to make the choice of missing the shot. It could easily, we saw it because of the night, because of the stress, whatever, he could miss the shot or he could disobey. That is part of the law when you obey to an order that is, you feel that is not ethical, that is not moral, you are covered by the law. And so what we say is that he made the choice to kill, and he made it in due conscience and denied the fundamental duty to protect life for oneself and the other. Sorry, I thought it was the conclusion, so I thought I couldn't be interrupted.
You may continue.
Thank you. So we consider that there's no extenuating circumstances that can compete with those values. That is the fundamental right and the respect of this fundamental right to protect life over time and spaces. And this is why we asked the jury to consider Franz K. guilty of the assassination of Gunther with premeditation and full awareness.
I would just add to what my colleague said. We have to judge the case of a man, fully grown, capable of free will, who voluntarily balanced an 8-year possible pain if he missed with a life sentence if he shot. And that's what he did. Thank you. Wrong.
We may now hear the final conclusion of the defense.
Yes, thank you. So what we heard here was a very individual approach to this case, but we need to consider also the political circumstances of the time, but also of the time that has passed until the present. So, to conclude, we can say that the GDR was an alternative to West Germany, and it was an attempt to create a society without exploitation. And at that time, it was necessary to close the border because of serious economic and security issues, and it was not the GDR alone who came to this conclusion, but the open border between East and West Germany, between the socialist and the capitalist bloc, was a security threat to all socialist countries in Eastern Europe, and it was the Soviet Union actually who decided that the border should be closed. And if the border should have any effect at all, it was also necessary to control this border. As we know today, that the economy of the GDR stabilized in the 60s and 70s, and that this allowed the country to make many improvements both in its own society as well as it allowed the GDR to support international anti-colonial movements, for example, and social movements around the world. And you have to consider that at that time, socialism was a hope to many people around the world for a better word, and to some today it still is. And humans need hope to live their lives. And imagine if the socialist states had collapsed earlier, maybe there would still be more colonies today in the world. So the competition between the socialist and the capitalist countries also, for example, had workers' rights in the Western countries. So it is no coincidence that neoliberalism was so strong in the 90s. It was only after the collapse of a visible alternative system that the capitalist countries could afford to fight against the workers' unions and restrict their rights like it happened in Europe in the 90s. So, to make a conclusion, socialism was the attempt to abolish exploitation of humans by humans, and the GDR tried to live up to this principle. Of course, not everything in the GDR was perfect, but in the year 1962 we are talking about, the GDR was only 13 years old. You cannot judge someone who tried to defend this country in order for it to survive and get a chance to develop.
Yeah, because of these individual and political reasons, we say that this court cannot judge Franz K. for his actions.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so then after having heard all the different parties and different witnesses we would like to remind that the aim we all commonly decided for this trial was not to arrive to a final condemnation or judgment, but rather to open the reflection of nowadays citizens, let's say. Therefore, we will not give a verdict, but propose you a question that will all have a certain time, around 15 minutes, let's say, to answer individually in our own conscience. The question we would like to propose you is in fact rather an invitation than a question. We would like to propose you to imagine what could be the inner monologue of Franz K. after having been present and having witnessed the trial we just did. Is this question understood by anyone?
Anyone or everyone?
Yeah, everyone, sorry. Yes. So maybe we can take now, or we take a break. We go 5 minutes there, and then 15 minutes. Yeah. So let's take a 5-minute break in order to get oxygen and reflection. And then let's come back here in 5 minutes to take this time to write individually about this proposition.
Does somebody want to read this text? It's not mandatory, it's a proposal.
I can't believe I'm going through this. I served my country by following the orders, and now we are being tried for my actions. All I wanted was to be a musician and spread the words of love and peace. Why did I kill him? Why was I so unlucky? I didn't want to kill him. All I wanted to do was sing and play the guitar. Music is my weapon, not the AK-47. Not the jury will prove me innocent. Why is all this happening to me? I was under pressure and on the strict order from my superiors. They gave me the order to shoot, and I did. I only followed their command. Please have justice on me. Why me? This stupid war and division is the reason for this. I shouldn't have followed those stupid orders. Now I risk a life sentence. Well, I could have got away with ideas. God have mercy on me.
Thank you, Franz. May we keep your text?
Sure.
But I have one question. The guy who wanted to be a musician, was it Franka or was it the other one, the young man who was shot? Was it Gunther?
Questions. Yes.
Or is it the other way around?
Maybe you changed.
C'est poétique, là, il vient.
Can I ask you a question? In real life, did Franz K. get a life sentence?
Not a life sentence, because at that point they didn't know, the judge in West Germany didn't know if the name has been changed. But didn't know if Günther are dead or not where. So we received a penalty of 50 months.
15.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But what I don't understand is that how can a man be judged in another country?
That was the problem.
That's not the question.
Regarding to every law system, I mean, you can.
The fact that the West Germany didn't recognize East Germany, so they considered he was German, because they don't recognize that East Germany another country was.
But what's during the
Yes. 1663.
but the law does apply in a specific territory.
Yes.
So
That's what said the lawyers, and that there's a lot of papers of lawyers, and the lawyers weren't agree with that judgment, but the judgment has been done. But it's a complicated question for the law.
yeah, that, I think that was my argument for the difference of the reality. We could argue that, we could say, you cannot judge me for a crime, for something I did in another country, so you're not, you don't have the right to judge me. Only the people from DDR they like to judge me, because this doesn't apply, it's not the same rules.
That's what an argument that the judge considered that was not enough, and they apply on a right to human rights, a law behind the law, and so on, in order to be able to judge him. But it was really, after the trial, there are some lawyers who scribe, who have written
A book. It was
a book in order to say that was irregular.
Of course.
Germany specifically have an international jurisdiction
Yes.
that you can follow a criminal record.
You mean everywhere in Germany?
No, yeah, you can file for a crime that has been done in any country. If a person wants to go to court here, they can.
But at that time?
Yeah, it is because after the Nazis, they had to be able to follow up the Nazis, but the law is the law now. So a lot of Syrians are using this law today.
That's very interesting.
But do you know when this law was exactly established?
No, but it's,
Because
yeah.
we thought it was after this trial, but I'm not sure about it.
I think it should be after.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after 63.
Yeah.
Yes. So at that time, when the real trial was held, this didn't apply actually. If they didn't have the law yet, at least.
Who want to read this text?
Alors ici, aujourd'hui, je ne suis pas condamné.
So therefore, here nowadays, I'm not condemned.
Ici, je ne suis pas innocenté, ni acquitté.
Here I am not said to be innocent or debt free.
Pourquoi me juge-t-on?
Why does people judge me?
Si la justice n'est pas rendue,
If justice is not given,
c'est qu'il n'est pas question de justice.
is that it is not a question of justice.
Il est question de ma liberté,
It is a question of my freedom,
de celle de Günther,
of the one of Gunther,
de celle d'un pays,
of the one of a country,
d'un seul pays,
of one only country,
d'un peuple,
of a people,
d'un seul peuple.
of a one only people.
Ni les lois écrites et dictées par les constitutions,
Neither the written law dictated by the constitutions,
ni les consciences des citoyens
nor the people's conscience
ne peuvent dire qui est responsable de mon acte.
can say who is responsible of my action.
Et ce n'est pas un acte,
And it is not an action.
c'est le résultat d'un mouvement constant de l'humain.
It is the result of a constant movement of humanity.
L'obéissance aveugle à une machine.
The blind obedience to a machine.
La machine étatique, quelle qu'elle soit,
The state machine, whatever it is,
qui tue l'esprit
which kills mind
et avilit l'homme,
and degrades man.
dès lors, l'homme qui dès lors perd sa pensée,
Man which from there loses its thought,
sa conscience
its conscience,
et son âme.
and its soul.
That's all.
I wrote 3 sentences. I did it. I'm guilty. I still pay for it every night. I'm sorry for your loss to the mother. I accept any sentence and wish I can do anything to alleviate your suffering.
You. Being innocent does not at all mean not doing evil, but acting in ignorance of the effects that can be caused on people or things. I know well what consequences my gesture could have, and yet I did it in the same way. I followed the order. But aren't we called to carry out order every day? What to do? How to distinguish a right order from a wrong one? In that situation, how to distinguish good from bad? And yet, I am guilty.
Okay. Why are these people talking about me after such a long time? I had my trial back in 1963. I was sentenced and I never complained about it. Although probably both the judge and the accusation at that time were former Nazis, like most people in the jurisdiction system of Germany at the time, and it was clearly a political trial. But my time in prison gave me a lot of time to think. So now, as an old man, I wish there were no more borders and a more just world, but it doesn't look very good. Every year, more people die in the Mediterranean Sea than at the German border in all its time of existence. But still, many people, especially in Germany, seem to be interested more in this case and similar cases than in the present.
I also wrote this assuming that this was now, that he's writing now, or thinking. What destroys me more than anything is the uselessness of it all. In the end, there was nothing to hope for. I had dreamt of a world where all men were equal, living as brothers, but this dream was nothing but a naive fantasy, a dangerous fantasy that led me to end the life of just such a brother. One who perhaps had the same dreams I had, but who was looking for them on the other side. The sad irony of it all was painful. I never wanted to kill anyone. I ignored the commander's orders 2 times because I never wanted to kill anyone. If I had wanted to, I would have shot Gunther the first time I was ordered to, when he was an easy target. When I did shoot, after the commander barked at me for the 3rd time, I was panicking, knowing that I was about to lose everything. I only meant to bring him down. A hair's breadth changed everything. It ended the life of a 19-year-old boy. It also ended mine. After that, I could no longer go on pretending that I believed in what I was doing. All promise was lost for me that night. There was no noble brotherhood to defend, nor was there freedom in capitalism. All of these beautiful ideologies have crumbled. I wonder what young Gunther would have made of the world as it is now. To me, it seems to be nothing but actors and regret. Thank you.
I want to gather on the text.
Slightly 80 years happened since I killed the man, around 30 since the unification of Germany. The countries that carried at the time the political, social, and economic ideology I believed in my 20s have, for the most part, disappeared. The ideology itself weakened almost up to its disappearance. And still, once again, I see myself being the object in the hands of the good conscience of a new specific ideologic system. From the people I see at this table, I see myself being judged now by the heirs of my previous judges, people who, wishing it or not, profit and enjoy a political system they didn't actually choose, but rather were born in. They do live nowadays in a world where the ability to choose radically different social and political ideology seems very restrained, an almost hegemonic situation. Can they actually understand the implication of doing the choice I did, of having such possibility and having to take a stand for it? And if they don't, if the choice for them limits itself to the different political possibilities within a unique ideological ray, are they only able to judge me? Can their conscience apprehend the situation in which I were? At least, do they have the decency to not declare any judgment?
The consequence of a 5 seconds hesitation between the order to shoot and the shooting itself. It decided of my life, of Gunther's life, and it also decided of many, many other things. Nobody can understand what happened during those 5 seconds. Not even I. And they want to make it exemplary. But exemplary of what? Not just my culpability, not the culpability of a system, or even a world order, but a symbol of what it is to be in the hands of a tragic history.
So I killed the man, I was ordered to, even if I didn't want to. I tried to shoot a little bit on the right, otherwise my officer could have some suspicion about my loyalty. Then it's agent in killing. I missed that spot. I was decorated for it, even seen as a hero. Now that's my trial. I'm judged because I killed this young man that I didn't really want to. I will be probably punished because I joined the opposite camp, because I believe in it. I was an idealist, especially after what we experienced as kids. I asked myself what would it be if a young East German who joined the work army and approximately in the same condition would obey to his superior and would shoot down someone who tried to cross the border. I'm sorry for the young one, for his family, and sorry for
Monsieur Méran.
C'est tellement compliqué que je suis très embêté. Bon, je peux imaginer. Enfin, ça ne m'implique pas moi personnellement dans ce que je dis.
Nothing personal.
Tu vas pas aller en prison, t'inquiète pas.
Non, c'est
Pardon.
I asked the jury to discharge me. I'm not proud of what I did, but I did it to follow the army's hierarchy. Yet, it seemed to me that I'm two different persons. I was a person A when I was living in DDR, and I'm a person B when I was and when I'm again in West Germany. So for me, you cannot judge a citizen of West Germany, East Germany, for a crime or so-called crime committed by B in DDR. In West Germany, A must be judged for a crime committed in West Germany. In DDR, B must be judged for a crime committed in DDR. Because the law systems are not the same in A and in B. In A, France K is considered as a hero, while in B is considered as a traitor. And it's the opposite for Butcher, who in one case is considered to be a traitor in DDR and a hero in West Germany. So, now that the West has won the war, I'm seen as a murderer. But if the DDR has won the war, I will be seen as an average hero. So, who am I? And how can you judge me? Why I'm these two persons at the same time? So, I asked the jury to discharge me.
La séance est levée.
Thank you very much. It was great to text the writing reaction with the trial, very careful trial that we made. And we have the both full pitch that we need to effect that story. Thank you very much to everybody.
And thank you, Frédéric and Pierre-Jérôme, for organizing this week for us. It was really...
Thank you.
Juli,
Yeah,
you sent.
yeah, I already.